Welcome to the next video in our series on Coast Guard modernization. I'm Vice Admiral Dave Pekoski, Pacific Area Commander and the future Commander of Coast Guard Forces Command. I'm here with Captain Pat Statt, who is the commanding officer of the newly commissioned Coast Guard cutter Bertholf. Bertholf is an example of our efforts to modernize the Coast Guard and is a perfect setting to talk about how FORCECOM and OPCON will work together in support of field operation.
Bertholf represents the future of Coast Guard surface operations. At 418 feet long with a beam of 54 feet, we were roughly 33% larger by displacement than the 378s that we'll replace. I have a crew of 108, which coincidentally is approximately 33% less than that of a 378 carries. In addition to comfortable living conditions, we have modern weapon systems, including the country's first 57mm gun, the Coast Guard's first Sea Whiz capable of anti-surface as well as anti-missile engagement, and a very well laid out and very user-friendly combat information center. We have a top speed of just over 28 knots and can cruise up to 12,000 nautical miles. Bertholf carries 3 over-the-horizon capable small boats and employs the first stern launch and recovery system for any ship this size in the world. We have a 4,000 square foot flight deck with an adjacent helicopter control center and 2 hangars that are designed to either carry 2 helicopters or 1 helicopter and 2 unmanned aerial vehicles such as Fire Scout. We are entering the operational scene at a good time, coinciding with the stand-up of FORCECOM and OPCON. Sometime in the near future, we'll have a deployment in support of counter-drug operations in the Eastern Pacific. FORCECOM will work with Bertholf to ensure that we are prepared for the deployment and ready to support the goals of an operational commander.
In a previous video, I spoke to you about the missions of FORCECOM. FORCECOM duties are to ensure that the ship and crew are ready to support the operational commander. We will ensure ship personnel have the required competency training, certifications, and medical readiness. We will also ensure the ship receives Command Assessment Readiness and Training, or CART, and Tailored Ships Availability Training, or TISTA, or other training is required by the mission.
At the same time, our operational commander is developing patrol orders, planning port calls, and coordinating ship riders with foreign governments. Once Bertholf is underway to perform counter-drug operations, we will shift OPCON and TACON to OPCOM, and then ultimately to JADA South for detection and monitoring counter-drug operations.
After Bertholf finishes the patrol, the Operational and Tactical Command then shift back to FORCECOM. During the patrol, crew members refine the process that improves safety while recovering the stern launch over-the-horizon cutter boat. FORCECOM staff would work with the crew to validate and standardize the new process and incorporate the findings into training, tactics, and procedures for the entire fleet. Under the current structure of the Coast Guard, innovations like this would take years. Under modernization, the time from innovation to accepted practice is reduced to months. On behalf of Captain Statt and me, I thank you for taking the time to view this informational video. I hope you found the information useful. My staff and I are interested in hearing your questions or concerns. Please email them to askforcecom@uscg.mil.